Hello guys, so Jerry speaking. Welcome to this very special LJP SPM video that will be happening on September 11th, 2001. Now, I just want to talk about this today on this Never Forget tragedy. So, let's do it now, shall we? So we got for us. In September 11th, 2001, I was at school. Okay, when this happened, it was a quiet day at school when I started here. And then all of a sudden, planes started out in New York, Washington D.C., and Pennsylvania. It was all the news. I was not doing anything that time, and it was a quiet day. I don't know what it was at the time, but it wasn't there on the East Coast. So, that's my background. Now let's talk about their background, okay? The September 11th attacks, commonly known as 9/11, was four concentrated terrorist suicide attacks carried out by Al-Qaeda against the United States in 2001. Wow. On that morning, 19 terrorists hijacked four commercial airliners scheduled to travel from the East Coast to California. Oh my god, wow. I'm at Georgia, and I was at school at the time, but Jesus. Anyway, the hijackers crashed the first two planes into the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center in New York City, and the next two flights towards targets or near Washington D.C. and the attacks in the nation's capital. When I was 6, it was only at Westport Elementary School at the time, but it never happened that then. It was like, jeez, how's that gonna help? But anyway, moving on. The third team to striking the Pentagon, headquarters of the United States Department of Defense in Arlington County, Virginia. Then the fourth plane crashed and the road fails over driving the tragic result. The 9/11 attacks killed 2,937 people, making the deadliest terrorist attacks in history. In response to the attacks, the United States waged a multi-decade global war on terror. And the hostile group deemed terrorism organizations, something like that, as well as the foreign governments partners to support teams, something like that, in Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, and several countries. Laser Maya flew American Airlines Flight 11 in the North Tower of the World Trade Center complex in Manhattan at 8:46 a.m. 17 minutes later, 9:03 a.m., the World Trade Center South Towers was hit the United Airlines Flight 275. Both 110 story skyscrapers collapsed within the hour and 41 minutes, bringing on the destruction of the remaining 5 structures in the RWTC complex and damaging and destroying nearby buildings. American Airlines Flight 77 flew towards Washington D.C., crashed into the Pentagon at 9:37 a.m., causing the partial collapse. The fourth and final flight, United Airlines Flight 93, also changed course towards Washington, but the investigators targeted either the United States Capitol or the White House. Along the previous attacks, the passengers were both against the hijackers and the crash the aircraft in Stony Creek Township Field near Stanksville, Pennsylvania at 10:03 a.m. The Federal Aviation Administration, or administrative ground stop, having announced this word, for the air traffic in the United States airspace at 9:45 a.m. These 9 minutes, following the first impact, presenting any further aircraft's departures until September 13th. Required the airborne aircraft to return to their point of origin to spread to Canada. Yeez, how's that gonna help? The action will take Canada, support incoming aircraft and their comments were collectively titled Operation Yellow Ribbon. What does that even mean? Anyways, hold on, let me open this up real quick. So, this is what I'm talking about. It happened in Canada in 2001, September 13th. So, before this happened, I'm like, wow. And this is why after 9/11 attacks, okay? I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but this is in Canada. I'm not a Canadian per se, but Robert McNeil, who got me inspired to do film and TV, was a Canadian, born Canadian, American citizen in the 1990s. Now, I'll read this one. We'll move on back to 9/11 again, okay? It was a Ceylon airline flights in response to 9/11 attacks in 2001 in the United States. Canada's goal was to ensure the partially destroyed air traffic to be removed from the United States airspace as quickly as possible, and away with the potential United States targets. Because I was there, I was only 6 when this happened. Instead, placed these aircraft on the ground in Canada as military service in airports, provinces, Canadian province, and Nova Scotia, Newfoundland, British Columbia, Yukon, New Brunswick, Montreal, and Ontario, and the Northwest territories of Quebec. Also, the aircraft, so that modules and destructive particles spreads could be better contained, like that. None of the aircraft proved to be a threat, and Canada hosted 1,000 passengers would be stared until U.S. aircraft was reopened. Canada was commenced the operation after the U.S. Federal Aviation Administration, FAA for short. Eventually, Security Council of Air Traffic and Air Commercial Aids, SCATANA for short, crowded all aircraft across the United States. Now, and partial action. Anyway, now, and the FFA working to Transport Canada to resolve incoming international flights to aircraft in Canada. During Operation Volume flights, with the expansion of police, military, and immigration flights were cancelled, making the first substance to Canada airspace have been shut down until the resort of Operation Yellow Ribbon. Between 225 and 240 aircraft were developed in 17 different airports across the country. Now, this has all happened. See here, I'm going to zoom in. I can't zoom in anymore, so that's what all happened throughout the 9/11 attacks. See here, so the reaction was all of this. And now, I'm going to close it right now, okay? That evening, the General Central Intelligence Agency informed President George W. Bush that it's a concentration terrorism center, and invited the attack as having been the work of Al Qaeda under Osama bin Laden, who's, thank God, he was not there even with us. Anyway. The United States formally responded by launching the war on terror and investigating Afghanistan to respond to the Taliban, something like that. Which rejected the Convention of U.S. terms and expelled Al Qaeda from Afghanistan. Declared its leaders, U.S.'s violation of Article 5 of the North Atlantic Treaty, something like that. It was a date called upon allies to fight Al Qaeda. As U.S. and NATO invasion forces swept through Afghanistan, bin Laden and moved them to disappearing through the White Mountains. I don't think so, Osama bin Laden. Sorry. He denied any deployment until 2004 when experts was a tape statement which he accepted responsibly with attacks were released. According to side modifications, including U.S. Support of Israel. Now, this happening nowadays with U.S.-Israel war thing. Yeah, the British U.S. military bases in Siberia and stations against Iraq. The nearly decade-long manhunt for bin Laden concluded on May 2nd, 2011, okay? When he was killed during the U.S. military raid on his compound in Afghanistan. The war in Afghanistan continued for another 8 years until the agreement was made in February 2020, the month before COVID-19 happened, for American and NATO troops to withdraw the country. The last members of the U.S. Armed Forces left the region on August 30th, 2021, at which the Taliban rapidly returned for power. Proportion, another plan with the attacks was sadly bin Laden, as leader of the Al-Qaeda, was killed by U.S. drone strikes in Kabul, Afghanistan, July 31st, 2022. Now, excluding the hijackers, the attackers killed 2,977 people, injured thousands more, and gave rise to substantial long-term health consequences, while also causing at least $10 billion in inflation and property damages. It remains the deadliest terrorist attacks in history, as well as the deadliest incident for firefighters. Now, one of them, some of my people are talking about this, and that is, of course, I'll go look at it right now, okay? I misspelled Brian's name wrong, but anyway. No, it's not Brian for the last name, okay? There you go. Now, this is it, okay? Brian Casanero, okay? He was a New York firefighter. He used to work in the fire department in New York City. He was a husband of Jackie Casanero and the father of Christopher Casanero. The video Wiggly Safari was dedicated to Brian Casanero and all those lost their lives in 9/11. Brian died at the age of 30 the day of the plane crash, into the World Trade Center in New York City, USA, on 9/11/2001. Now, I mean, this is tragedy, okay? And this is him right here, seen here, okay? So look it up right now. It was his after scene here, okay? This is him, okay? And that's what it looks like, okay? Now, before I get in, after I do some read, on the whole thing, okay? On 9/11, I want to talk about some other things that happened throughout the 9/11 broadcast, okay? Seen here, okay? And law enforcement personnel in the American history, killing 343 and 72 members, respectively. The loss of life stemming from the impact of Flight 11 made it the most level multi-plane crash in aviation history, following the death toll of occurred to Flight 175. The destruction of the World Trade Center and the influence seriously harmed the U.S. economy, which I was a United States citizen, by the way. And it caused the global market shocks. Many other countries straight anti-terrorism organization and expanded their powers of law enforcement and coalition agencies like that. The total number of deaths caused by attacks, provided with the death tolls for the conference, but directly increased by that, has been established by the Cost of War Project to over 4.5 million. Wow. Cleaning up the World Trade Center site, Coalition's Power Ground Zero, took 8 months and was completed by May 2002, while the Pentagon was prepared within a year. Wow. After delays in the Pentagon design of the replacement complex, 6 new buildings were planned to replace the lost towers. While along with the museum and memorial dedicated to those who were killed and injured in the attacks. The tallest building, World Trade Center, began construction in November 2006. It was opened in November 2014. Memorials of the attacks, including the National September 11th Memorial and Museum in New York City, the Pentagon Memorial in Arlington, Virginia, and the Flight 93 National Memorial at Philadelphia crash site. That's all I'm going to read for right now. And before I do show you broadcast, I'm going to give you some pictures of how it all happened in 9/11. See, here is the crash that happened in 9/11 in New York City, the Twin Towers. Then this scene here is the other crashes that happened in 9/11. And what's this here? Pentagon scary video. Wow, okay. Then the next page you're about to see is photograph an airplane part found and seen in Somerset City, Pennsylvania. Wow. Next picture is visual description by CPB. Another view of the New York City Tourism House and surrounding area. And then the last one has to do with this. Firefighters working to put out the flames and hijacking jet liner crashing the Pentagon in grocery 9:09:30 on September 9:30 a.m. September 11, 2001. That's all the pictures I'm going to see right here. Now, I'm going to give you one last thing at one, and that's broadcast, okay? Steel, C, and this happened in, right after 9/11, okay? Okay, just New York Seal, excuse me, okay. I mean, this happened during 9/11, right after 9/11, excuse me. It says, New York Seal was a benefit concert managed by A. Trog and Mike Pisa, featuring heavy metal musicians. That took place on November 28th, 2001, in Harrison Ballroom in New York City, in response to the September 11th, 2001 attacks. Twisted Sister headline returned to the stage together with the first time in 14 years. The sold-out shows raised an initial $90,000, with New York police and fire windows and children's benefit fund. Twisted Sister also with the following people: Anthrax, Ace Frehley, Sebastian Bach, and Overkill. And those are the things I want to talk about. And then there's a VH1 special that happened in Madison Square Garden. And that's all there is to it. So I'm going to talk about more about 9/11 in the future video coming away next year to talk about 9/11. But thank you all for watching this special LJP SPM event on what's going on with this tragic event for 9/11 attacks. I hope you enjoy it. Stay tuned for the next one, which is going to be I'm hoping to say a brand new episode of Ripley's Spirit. It will be 3 brand new episodes of Ripley's Night for tomorrow or something like that. It depends. Until next time, so just by baby, we can more videos soon. Say out. See ya.